The hospital waiting room smelled like antiseptic and burnt coffee. 2:34 a.m. My phone buzzed for the 7th time in an hour. Another text from a number I'd deleted 10 years ago. Please, your father needs you. Type O negative. You're the only match in the family. The worst part wasn't that they'd disowned me at 18 for choosing community college over their Ivy League expectations. It was that they actually believed I'd come running. 10 years earlier, I'd stood in our marble-floored foyer with acceptance letters spread across the hallway table. Princeton, Yale, Columbia. Each one represented $300,000 they'd saved since I was born. My mother's voice echoed off the vaulted ceiling. Community college? Are you trying to humiliate us? I got a full scholarship for nursing. I want to help people, not sit in lecture halls. Help people? My father's laugh was sharp. By emptying bedpans? I remember the exact moment I noticed the suitcases. 2 of them, already packed, sitting by the front door. My mother crossed her arms, her tennis bracelet catching the chandelier light. You have 24 hours to accept Columbia, or you're not our daughter. The floor felt like it was tilting. You're serious? Do we look like we're joking? My father straightened his tie, the same gesture he used before firing employees at his firm. We invested everything in your future. You don't get to throw it away on some bleeding heart fantasy. I chose the scholarship. They chose the suitcases. The first year was the hardest. I worked 3 jobs: campus library, weekend hospital shifts, late-night coffee shop. My apartment was 400 square feet above a laundromat. The walls shook every time someone started the heavy-duty machines. I'd see their Christmas cards at the grocery store checkout. Professionally photographed, all smiles, addressed from the Whitmore family. No mention of me. Like I'd been photoshopped out of existence. My younger sister tried to stay in touch. Secret phone calls from bathroom stalls and parking lots. They removed all your pictures, she whispered once. Like you never existed. How are you? Getting married in June. They said if I invite you, they won't come. I heard her wedding happened without me. Through a Facebook post I wasn't tagged in. But here's what they didn't know. I was thriving. Nursing school taught me something my parents' money never could. Resilience. By year 3, I was top of my class. Clinical rotations at the city's busiest ER. My supervising nurse, Mrs. Kowalski, saw something in me. You've got instincts, kid. Ever think about specializing? I ended up in pediatric oncology, the hardest unit in the hospital, the one most nurses burned out within 2 years. I stayed at 7. I learned every child's favorite color, memorized which parents needed coffee brought to them because they'd forgotten to eat, knew which kids wanted silence during chemo, and which ones needed Disney movies playing on repeat. At 25, I became the youngest charge nurse in the hospital's history. At 27, I pioneered a new pain management protocol that reduced opioid use in pediatric patients by 34%. At 28, I spoke at a national conference where 1,200 nurses gave me a standing ovation. My apartment was still small, but it was mine. Every piece of furniture, every achievement, every scar, earned. The text started 3 days before that 2:34 a.m. message. The first one came during a shift change. Unknown number. This is your mother. Your father is sick. Call me. I deleted it, focused on checking IV lines and medication schedules. The second message came the next day. Don't be childish. He needs surgery. Rare blood type. We need family medical history. The third message included a photo. My father is in a hospital bed. Thinner. Grayer. An oxygen cannula in his nose. Aortic aneurysm. Surgery scheduled Friday. Please. I felt my coworker, Bethany, reading over my shoulder. She'd been my friend since orientation, knew my whole story. That's them? Her voice was quiet. Yep. What are you going to do? I turned off my phone. Finish my shift. But they didn't stop. My sister called from a number I did recognize. I made the mistake of answering. Please, just talk to them. Her voice cracked. He might die. Where were they when I needed them? When I was working 3 jobs and eating ramen for dinner? When I graduated nursing school with honors and no one came? That was different. How? My hand gripped the phone so hard, my knuckles turned white. How is it different? Silence. Then, they made a mistake. People make mistakes. Mistakes are forgetting birthdays. They erased me. He's our father. He stopped being my father when he packed those suitcases. I hung up. My hands were shaking. Bethany appeared with coffee. You okay? They need blood. Type O negative. Apparently, I'm the only family match. She sat down next to me in the break room. So, what does your gut say? That was the question, wasn't it? I went to the hospital, not their hospital. I made them come to mine. My mother arrived first, clutching a designer purse like a shield. She looked older, tired. Her eyes scanned my scrubs, my badge, the pediatric oncology unit behind me. Thank you for coming. Formal, like I was a contractor they'd hired. I'm not here for you, I said. I'm here because I'm a nurse, and nurses don't let people die just because they're terrible human beings. She flinched. My father arrived in a wheelchair, pushed by a private nurse. He looked small, fragile, nothing like the man who'd towered over me in our foyer. I'll donate blood, I said before anyone could speak. But we need to be clear about something. This doesn't fix anything. This doesn't make us family again. My mother's voice wavered. We thought you'd fail. We thought you'd come back. That's what you were hoping for? That I'd fail? My father spoke for the first time. His voice was weak, but still carried that executive authority. We wanted what was best for you. No, I crossed my arms. You wanted what looked best for you. There's a difference. The blood donation took 45 minutes. I sat in the chair, watching my blood flow through the tube, and felt nothing. Bethany stayed with me. You're doing a good thing. Am I? Or am I just proving them right? That I'd come when called, like nothing happened? You're proving you're better than them. Afterward, my mother cornered me in the hallway. Can we talk, please? I checked my watch. I have rounds in 10 minutes. I know we hurt you. Hurt me? The laugh that came out of me was sharp. You didn't hurt me. You tried to break me. There's a difference. Her eyes filled with tears. Real ones, I think. We were wrong. I was wrong. I see that now. What changed? The fact that he might die? Or the fact that I became successful despite you? She had no answer. My father's surgery was scheduled for the next morning. I gave them my blood, my medical history, 30 minutes of my time. Then I left. The surgery was successful. My sister texted me updates I didn't ask for. He'd recover. 6 weeks of rest, physical therapy, a second chance at life. 3 weeks later, a letter arrived at my apartment. Handwritten. My father's shaky script. I'm sorry. Not for the life you've built. Clearly, you didn't need us for that. But for not being there to see it. For making you choose between our love and your dreams. For not realizing love shouldn't come with conditions. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't deserve it. But I needed you to know I was wrong. Your mother and I were both wrong. You became exactly who you were meant to be. I'm proud of you. I should have said that 10 years ago. I read it 3 times, felt the weight of words that came a decade too late. Bethany asked me later if I'd respond. I don't know, I said honestly. Part of me wants to forgive them. part of me knows that some bridges burn for a reason. What does your gut say? I thought about the kids in my unit, the parents who sat by their bedsides for weeks, the families who showed up no matter what, the kind of love that didn't come with conditions or ultimatums. My gut says I already have a family, the one I built, the one that showed up when I needed them. 6 months later, I received an invitation to my father's welcome home party, recovery celebration. The whole family would be there. I didn't go, but I sent a card. Short, simple. I'm glad you're healthy. I'm glad you survived. But I survived too, without you. I don't hate you, but I don't owe you my presence either. Maybe someday that will change. Maybe it won't. Either way, I'm at peace with it. My sister called after the party. They were hoping you'd come. I know. Are you ever going to forgive them? I watched the city lights from my apartment window. The same small place above the laundromat, though I could afford better now. I stayed because it reminded me where I came from, what I survived. Maybe, I said, but forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, and it definitely doesn't mean going back. What does it mean then? It means I get to decide, on my terms, when I'm ready, if I'm ever ready. I hung up and went back to my life. The real one. The one I built from scholarship money and night shifts and refusing to be broken. They needed me. I showed up. As a nurse, not a daughter. Because here's what they never understood. You don't get to choose when someone becomes family. But you definitely get to choose when they stop being one. And 10 years ago, they made their choice. Now I get to make mine. Sometimes the family you need isn't the one you're born into. It's the one you build from the people who show up when it matters, who stays when it's hard, who never makes you choose between their love and your dreams. I learned that at 18, standing in a marble foyer with packed suitcases at my feet. Best lesson I ever learned.